What up, guys? Just chike. So, when you see here, I've built a 10 out of 10 physique. I've built a 10 out of 10 body, excuse me. And there's really no secrets behind it. It's just consistency, it's just hard work. And people will ask me, okay, how did you build this body? How did you get this physique? And I feel like they expect some sort of special answer. There really is no special answer. You sit up here, you pick a time, you go to the gym, you go to the gym, and you keep hitting the gym until you look like how you want to look. There's nothing special about building a physique. It's only just hard work. However, the only way to actually get to that point, the only way to actually get to the point of having this sort of physique, this sort of body, is by doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's by doing the workouts that you know you need to do to build those muscles that can make you look aesthetic over and over again. And what do you call that? You call that a habit. That's what a habit is. So you need to form a habit, but most people they can't. They can't form a habit. Do you know why? It's because they literally can't function like normal human beings. They can't function like normal people. They don't know how to do that. And the reason why is because they don't have a schedule. They don't have a schedule. And when people talk about, like, when people hear me say, "Oh, you need to have a schedule, have a schedule, have a schedule," they probably hear this mundane advice like, "Oh, you need to have a schedule so that you know you're more optimal in the gym and like da, 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 da." It's like clockwork." But and they think it's corny, but it's actually very, very, very true. It's actually very important. Okay, your schedule. You need to schedule like your gym and your life daily. Okay, you need to schedule this in because if you are just some person who lives aimlessly, you just live this aimless sort of lifestyle, this aimless sort of I'll do what I feel like doing the next hour, you're never going to get anything done. Think about it. Think about it, right? You get home from work. You get home from work. You get home from school, from classes. You don't really feel like hitting the gym, do you? You don't feel like cooking the meal. You order pizza. You order Pizza Hut. So you're putting all these damn calories on, but the protein content, subpar, damn near non-existent. The the fatty acids, the fats that you actually need, not the trans fats that are found in the pizza, the fake fats that is just gonna be transported to visceral fat. The fats that you need to insulate your body and to absorb vitamins into your body so that you can have good skin, clear skin, and develop muscle better. You don't get that. And it's like, oh, it's just one night, but you do that every single time because every time you come back from work and you come back from classes, guess what? You don't feel like doing the thing that you know you have to do. See, when I was in boot camp, I was told exactly what to do, when I had to do it, and how I had to do it. And I got damn good at doing those things. And those things oftentimes are good at me. And it's like it clicked, and I realized it's really stupid, very simple realization, but you honestly really should almost never do what it is that you feel like doing. You should honestly never, not a day in your life, ever do what you exactly feel like doing the moment you feel like doing it. You should almost do the opposite. You should almost have things that you know that you want for your life, have goals bulleted down, and then create a schedule aligned with those goals on a almost at a day by day level and live by them. And what do you call that? You call that a schedule. I just said it. You call that a schedule. But people will sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, that's too rigid. I can't live by that. I can't live by a schedule." But do you know what you're saying when you say you can't live by a schedule? You're saying I'm too weak to be disciplined to get the things that I want in life. The whole "oh, I can't go," like, those are just self-limiting beliefs. Those are essentially just self-limiting beliefs. And I'm going to get to the practical stuff in a minute. But when you think about it, people tend to what people tend to do. This is what people do, genuinely, honestly, because a lot of people ask me advice, and I have conversations with a lot of people on my Instagram. Even just I think I get more conversations from people actually just approaching me at the gym, asking me questions about my physique than anything else. They will talk to me, and I'll genuinely be invested in trying to help them, and then they'll give me excuses to fight against their way out of their situation. Oh, but I have I have kids. I have 3 kids, man. I got 3 kids, bro. I got 2 jobs, bro. I got 4 wives, chike. I got 4 wives, and I'm just like, listen, your situations are very, very valid. Like your situation is very valid, but they're not unique. There's people who get fit in every single circumstance. There's people who get strong in every single circumstance, who transform their body in every single circumstance. Like you even see people online who had their leg blown off in a war, and then they'll still like build a 10 out of 10 body. Well, maybe not like a full body, but you get the point. You get what I'm trying to say, right? So, and also another point that I want to make is when you think about humans, how they function, you naturally are meant for routine. Why do you think the military made, like during boot camp and all these different things, like they drill routine into us? Why do you think they drill routine into people? It's because it's actually what your body needs the most is routine. If you're someone who consumes even an ounce of healthy educational content instead of mindless brain rot bullshit, fucking TikToks and I don't even know what's out there because I don't even be watching that stuff. But if you're not too busy watching like Mr. Beast and just actually consume educational content and podcasts like mine, you'll have heard that human beings function off better on schedule. Like, why do you think we even have something called the circadian rhythm? The circadian rhythm is a cycle in which people fall asleep all around the same time frame. You shouldn't like switch up routine. Human beings are meant to for routine. Even like your gut, you can cause health issues when you sit up here and you eat all at random times during the week and during the days. You can actually cause genuine health issues in your body. The entire frame, yeah, what I want you to do is your entire frame in which you believe that routine is something that's completely out of reach. I need you to reframe it like this: routine is a norm. Society and bullshit and my bad habits have made me deviate from what's actually normal and healthy for people, and that's contributing to my inability to create a physical body that I like, to build my body. That is the reality of what's actually going on here, okay? The more you stick to a routine, the better it becomes. This is a bonus. This is like a bonus sort of selling point as to why I'm trying to preach routine and schedule to you. The more you actually stick to a routine, the more automatic the task becomes, and momentum builds and mastery actually gets easier. All weightlifting is mastery over a load. It's mastery over a weight. You either gain mastery over the dumbbell curl for 30 pounds, or you get mastery over la- lateral grip, wide grip pull ups. It's mastery. So when you schedule times in, you make your workouts, they will become mundane, yes, right? Yes, that's called discipline. It's gonna suck, it's gonna feel mundane. That's why I preach do the workouts that you like, because when you stick to the same workouts and you schedule them in at the same time, it almost you almost want it to become automatic. You want your days to become automatic. You want everything to just be completely automatic on a schedule, completely smooth. You don't even have to think about what you have to do. So when we go back to before, you get home from work, right? You get home from school, or the mandatory task that you have to do to make money and provide for your family and provide for yourself, or get the degree that you're studying for, whatever situation you're in, right? but you don't even have to think about what you have to do next. You just go to the gym or go study or do your homework or whatever it is that you have to do, right? So now I want to actually talk to you about how to start building a schedule, because it seems like if by now you haven't really been convinced about why you should make a schedule, then I don't really know what to do for you, man. I feel like you should at least have some good self esteem to want to help yourself enough at this point. But this is how you actually want to start building a schedule. And I'm not going to get super detailed here. There's going to be a lot more different. There's a big ass fly over there. There's going to be a lot more different topics. There's a lot more different points into building a schedule for me personally. But the main things that you want to do is, first thing is, go ahead and get a sheet of paper. This is an actionable step that I want you to take. Get a sheet of paper, right? Like like this. Get a blank sheet of paper, and I want you to actually create a a chart of Sunday, Monday, all the way to Saturday, right? What are the mandatory what are this is a term we use in the military. What are the mandatory appointments that you have to attend Monday through Friday? Even, every single day of the week. What are the mandatory appointments that you have to attend Monday through Friday? That's school, that's work, that's church, that's whatever it is that you feel like this is something I have to do, right? This is something I have to do or I'm going to get fired or my life's going to fall apart. Jot that into your schedule. Jot that into your goddamn schedule. Once you've done that, I'm trusting that you've done this. Once you've done that, go ahead and jot down times in which you'll actually be going to sleep. Like, and the way to actually jot sleep is this. Most people, what they'll sit up here and do is like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed at 9 because I think nine's a good time to go to bed. No, pick the time in which you'd like to wake up to get the most out of your day. And this is really important because you from this point can then choose to go to the gym in the morning if you want to. Or if not, you can also then choose to go to the gym at night. Like sleep is really important, but go ahead and pick the time in which you would feel like you really 100% for a fact know, like, okay, I should wake up if if this will like help me get the kids up, or if this will help me get breakfast in the morning, or whatever it is, right? So let's say that that time is like 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Well, I know off the top of my head, if I need 8 hours of sleep and I have to be up at 6 a.m., what time am I going to go to bed? Obviously, it's going to be 10 p.m. I need to be in asleep by 10 p.m. So you want to be in bed roughly by 9:30, and that's how you're going to create your sleep block. You want to create your sleep centered around what time you're going to wake up, and then you have the mandatory appointments. Okay, then you can also add stuff where um, times to eat. You want to eat at the same time every day. Um, if you don't know why, I'm not going to get into that with the video, but go ahead and watch my nutrient timing video. I guess I'll go ahead and add it here. I'll tag it towards the end of the video. But you want to also like put in sleep. You can also put in times you want to study. I'm not going to get into much details because there's also stuff with like supplements and everything, but that's just too detailed and I feel like this video is just going to be too long. All right, but if you want to get something that's really fully detailed, I'm actually right now creating a body boot camp course for people to step by step learn how to be very consistent. It can be the guy who's the working man, young men who simply just want to actually like build a chest and back and biceps and kind of have like that full build, kind of like Captain America, right? That course, link in the description below. Go ahead, check it out. Right now, it's currently in the pre-sale stage, so I'm actively working in it. But in that pre-sale stage, it is half off, and if you buy into it, you'll basically be in the course, and it's yours. It's not a monthly thing. It's just one time. You get the course. It's yours forever, and you will actually see me collectively like uploading into that schooling into the actual course. And eventually, once it's complete, it's gonna be the full price, which will be essentially double the price of what it is. It's like $49 now. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk too much about it right now. If you want to go check it out, link in the description below. But Once you make that, then you want to go ahead and pick a time in which you can go to the gym. And this is very important because most people will go to the gym around what time? Oh, this is literally most fucking people. This is the shit that's so funny. Most people will sit up here and be like, "Oh, well, I get off work at 5, so I'm gonna go to the gym at 5:30." Just like everybody the fuck else. Just like everybody the fuck else. And this is also something in my course. Well, you can honestly do workouts from home, and that is also in my course that I just talked about. But I recommend that you, if you can, and if you can't afford it, that you get a 24-hour gym. The type of gym where honestly they just give you like a key card or a tag, and fucking scan the tag, you enter the door, and you go into the damn gym, and the gym is yours 24 hours a day. The best gym, in my opinion, the gym that I love, Anytime Fitness. Anytime Fitness to me is the best because at least where I was at, I was living in like the Spartanburg sort of area, and that was probably like the best. I think it's probably the best Anytime Fitness ever, and the gym was great. But anyways, it works because at any time you choose, you can use the gym facilities. That's extremely important, and the reason why that's really important is because, well, obviously, sorry, you're a noob at the gym. You're a noob at the gym. You don't go to the gym very often. So learning to like the gym is going to have a lot of resistance for you, right? It's going to be very fucking hard. It's going to be extremely hard to enjoy going to the gym and actually forming a habit and being someone who this big ass fly and being someone who's consistently going. So then how do you basically lubricate that process? Well, if you can go to the gym at any time when there's less people, less interaction, less clutter, less wait times, and you have all this freedom to basically just be in and out. That's what you want to go for. You want to go for, you don't have to have that conversation with that this person that's like trying to talk to you all the time. If you're a chick, that guy that's always trying to like hit on you, or if you're a guy watching my video, maybe you have a chick that's always trying to hit on you at the gym, although maybe for you that's probably like a good thing, right? But you want to just avoid any sort of friction between you getting to your workout, doing your workouts, and getting the hell out of there. Ideally, like spent maybe 45 minutes in the gym because I would hit my resistance training workout, 4 workouts, and completely be done. And this is actually extremely important. The last point that I want to make when it comes down to building a schedule is make sure that when you set that block for making your schedule, for when you're actually like making your schedule, right? That it's 1.5 to 2 hour blocks. Why is that, Chike? Well, because you just said that you didn't even spend an hour in the gym. Well, you have room for error. Let's say you are one of the guys, one of the masses who has to go to the gym at 5:30, right? Because I used to be that guy. At least you're still within schedule if you show up at 6:30. At least you're still within the correct, you give yourself room for error, right? To sum it all up, you give yourself room for error so that even if you have some resistance to going to the gym, you're still within good standing if you go to the gym at a certain time. Now, I can also play devil's advocate with this whole advice point here. This is completely up to you. If you're more rigid, you could probably be more dedicated to sticking to the gym at a certain time. It could probably actually aid you in being more consistent. But just to say, there's no harm in giving yourself room for error for this time block when it comes down to going to the gym. But that's basically it when it comes down to making a schedule. But just to reinforce some mindset points here, listen, you have to take ownership. You have to take ownership because like there are common excuses, right? Like, oh, I have kids, I have jobs, I have responsibilities and all these things. You need to learn how to reinvent your own self-image. You have to change your self image when it comes down to this because you're someone who's becoming fit. You're someone who's changing his entire body. That's what you're doing. Do you want to be the guy who sees himself as someone who's struggling to get fit? Is that the self image that you want to have? It's the same thing with if you're guys who are on self improvement, you've heard of no fab. It's the same thing with guys who struggle with like fapping. Do you want to be the guy who's fucking, oh, I'm a guy who struggles with fapping. Oh my God, I struggle with fapping. Do you want to be that guy? Is that the image that you want to have in your head? Or do you want to be the guy who simply just doesn't fap or is reducing the habit? You want to be the person who's simply just becoming fit, who's falling into their natural order of things. Why should you align your own self-image to someone who's struggling, to someone who has these excuses, to someone who simply is in a helpless situation? Like, you can't allow yourself to just sit up here and be like, "Oh, I'm completely helpless. I have all these kids, these bills." Yes, these are all valid excuses, and that's why to drive the point home, because I know this video is long, but that's why I'm like, you're better off just like buying the course and just getting the full educational benefit. But here's the video anyway. You need to learn how to take ownership of your time. The most important thing is learning how to buy back your own time, right? You need to learn how to sacrifice, cut expenses, delegate, find better paying jobs if you work two jobs, do different things to sacrifice and delegate. And that goes back to my last video that I made. Something's always got to go. Something's always got to go. You need to learn how to sacrifice and delegate for the things that you want, because life don't really give a fuck about your situation. Your situation just will not change. It's just not going to change. It does not matter if you have three kids, four wives, two jobs, and six houses. Life does not care. If you don't go to the gym, you're just not going to get better. You're not going to get healthier. So find a way to delegate. If you have all these crazy kids running around terrorizing your life, delegate to nannies, delegate to co-parents. If you have two jobs, maybe try and find a better paying job. And that's just all about self-improvement. That's self-improvement is about making your life easier. But think about it. You pay a lot of money for distractions. You probably have shit like Apple TV, fucking Netflix subscriptions and all these different things. And I understand, like, I get it. Like, we're human. We need some form of entertainment. Maybe, right? Not everyone needs entertainment, but you pay all this money for junk and bullshit, for pizza every night, right? For movie subscriptions, for DoorDash, for Uber Eats, and all this shit, but you can't pay for services to make your life easier. You see the brainwashed matrix that we're all in. You won't pay for services to make your life easier. You won't save up or sacrifice to get services that'll make your life smoother. Learn how to delegate some of your duties, okay? Because at the end of the day, and this is going to be like my last point, we all have valid excuses to not get fit. I'm not saying your excuse isn't valid. It's just not unique. Life, the one point that I want to drive home, life does not care about what it is that you have going on. If you don't do it, it just ain't going to get done. But the thing is, people don't have schedules. They don't make a schedule to actually like functionally structure their days. You don't function as a human being. You're not functioning as a human being because you don't have a schedule. So go ahead, make a schedule, stop procrastinating, find a routine, find consistency, and find results. And if you need daily motivation and practical guides like this, if you like educational content like this, go ahead, like, subscribe, holla back at your boy, man. Just Chike signing out.